We have the working cows dairy, and we're in Slocum, Alabama, the only organic dairy in the southeast. And we process all our milk into products on the farm. Me and my husband and our middle son own the business, and he's gonna go after we pass on to our next life. He's gonna keep on going with the dairy with his wife and kids, I hope. My husband is a dairy farmer. That's a real, yeah, my husband is born in between the cows, he always says, you know. His mama had him and then went back to work because they were home birth, you know. So yeah, he went almost like, yep, she had a baby and back to work. And I grew up not in a city as big as Birmingham, but maybe more like Dothan. And just met him and just immigrated 40 years ago and started a dairy farm over here. In 2009, we were certified organic. In 2006, we made a decision to go organic. 3 years for the land and 1 year for the cows. We wanted to do something else that nobody else was doing. Try to get something going in the southeast. And then my husband came with the idea to do organic milk. And so we done milk only from 2009 to 2017. We done only milk, whole milk, and half gallons and chocolate milk. And in 2017, I started making cheese. I mean, it's just a natural way to farm. Yeah. And we always thought that there would be more dairies in Alabama going organic because they were so close already to an older generation, but we could never get more people to go organic. So the pros is you get a little bit more for your milk. I think it's mainly because we do everything ourselves over here and we just distribute around here. So we have a lot of traffic on the farm, and that makes us the most money for a gallon of milk. We only have one lady working for us that's not family.
Okay. And then the bottle, I guess.
The bottling operation, because they do so many different things. He makes a lot of ice cream mixes, and yeah, there's no. But more a smaller guy in a big bottling world. He's the small guy what does the specific. I don't know if you guys know King of Pops. They make ice cream pops in Atlanta, a really big company. He bottles all that milk. He makes the basis for that. Or, I don't even know. There's a lot of people. He makes bases for, and they make ice cream for it. He don't make ice cream over here, but he makes the base for the soft serve or the ice cream. Or he makes a lot of 8%, 10%. And he has his own brand, what's called Atlanta Fresh, that goes all to Atlanta stores. Yes, only the whole milk and only the whole milk. That's where we used to make whole milk 2% fat-free, and we do cream still, but the cream I use only on the farm and make butter from. And then the whole milk is going to Whole Foods. So in Birmingham and Jackson, Mississippi maybe? Georgia, a lot of them in Georgia, Tennessee, North and South Carolina. Oh yes.
24/7?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, and that's actually the biggest seller.
Yeah.
We have a lot of traffic. It grew from $600 a week till $7,000 a week. So yeah, it's a tremendous amount of traffic we have.
Wow.
There's a lady coming from Navarra Beach and from Destin, and then Escambia Farms is also in the Panhandle, a couple of hours away from here. But come over here and pick up food. Most of them come only like once every other week. You know, to make it worth their drive. So yeah, and they come then on Friday or Saturday or Sunday where the freshest products, and then they go back home and then come again 10 days, 2 days, 10 days, 12 days again. We are certified organic, but we also certified animal welfare approved. 100% grass-fed by a greener world, and the animal welfare approved is the label on the back over there. And then we have an A2 milk, and then we also are closed herd, so we have not vaccinated our cows in 10 years. So because we didn't bring in no animals, so people love that. We have calves because we could not tell Whole Foods, hey, 3 months of the year we won't have no milk. So that's the problem, you know. Otherwise we would try to be like a seasonal dairy, but that wouldn't work. But our biggest season is actually from February to June. When the green grasses grow, when it's the rye and the ryegrasses and the clover, the winter grazing is really growing. That's when I make about 20 batches of cheese and a lot of butter. They increase production 100%, but then also it's just a whole different animal compared to if eating silage or hay to what they eat in the springtime. Yeah, that's a really different product. It's more yellower too. So we immigrated. My husband is one of 8 kids, and when he wanted to take over the farm, his parents weren't ready to step down, and so we stepped out of the partnership, and then we moved actually first to Germany for a year and a half, and then in Germany we couldn't really find it. And the guy we were working for had a visa for a year to come to America and check stuff out because he wanted to immigrate. They wind up moving actually to Poland, and we then winded up going on vacation to America for 2 weeks. And we called our parents and said, okay, now if we would fly back and come back, then all our savings would be gone. So we just stayed here, and they packed up all our stuff, and we stayed here in America. And it's actually been September the 23rd, it was 40 years ago. 40 years ago that we immigrated. Yeah. We landed in Atlanta. We had a German friend we had met in Germany, what was traveling between Bonnefe and Germany already for a couple of years to figure out where he really wanted to go to. And so we then came from Atlanta to Bonnefe, Florida, and then we met a Dutch guy what needed help but didn't have the money to pay somebody. And so we helped him, and for that we could use his farm, his milking barn, to milk 40 cows or 50 cows. So that's how it all started, from those lease cows to leaving. After 2 years we left there with 27 cows paid for. And then we went to a little rental place, and that was in Grand Ridge. And then we started with 27 cows, and then 4 years later moved over here with 200 cows. And then we started back at Working Cows Dairy, it's still the same name, but in Alabama. June 1st, 1991, we moved to Alabama. We bought this farm, and we kind of grew till 1,000 animals. And then in 2006, we moved all the way back to a couple of hundred cows. It's been a lot of hard work, but actually it's surprising how more relaxed it is. We're just doing a few hundred cows, no more veterinarians, no more pushing these animals, and just enjoying life. So when we would go to Holland, I would just talk to a lady cheesemaker over there and just ask her the questions. Nobody over here in the South would help me, you know, because they've seen me as competition. And I'm like, I'm the only one making organic. You know, y'all are just making whatever, you know, but just teach me something. And so I would always volunteer over there a couple of days. Every time we would go, every 6 months, I would volunteer over there to help. And the lady would explain to me why certain things happen. But yeah, that's a mess today because we just made butter. So I make all the cheese in here. In this, the milk gets pasteurized over there by Johnny, and then I'll come in here. I make the cheese in there, and then I have the cheese curds and the whey all come through here. It's just like a big sieve. And then when we have that all in there, we kind of mix the salt in there and the herbs. And the whey runs out back to the lagoon system, and then the cheese goes under the press under there. And then it takes a lot of turning and turning again, more pressure and turning again, more pressure. I make a farmstead cheese. It's almost like close like an cheddar. Cheddar cheese over here. You guys can look over here. Cheese.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Oh,
fall.
you be fine. It's cold in there.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, and I'm almost out of cheese, but I got only a little bit left over here.
Wow. What kind?
Only farmstead, and then the honey clover is left.
Wow.
And then in the back is also farmstead, was just aging. Yeah, that's when I make most of the cheeses. There's only 9 dairies left in the state of Alabama. 9.
We were in Vermont this summer. They were saying, I mean, you know, their dairy numbers are way higher, but they're saying something similar, that it's nowhere near the volume that it was.
And it might be easier on the other side. Yeah. No, when we came to Alabama, there were 330 dairies.
And now it's 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 1991 till now, 40, 30 some years, 35 yeyears ago. It's just no money, and people, the next generation don't want to work 24/7, 365 days a year, you know. So that's our tank room. That's where we collect all the milk in. And for now, we still milk them in the carousel. On the carousel. It's a little bit hard maybe to understand, but the cows step up over there and this all turns. So we got to take the hoses off, you know, and take all this stuff down. But because it's so obsolete that we hardly can get any parts for it anymore. So we said we got to do something. And we could update it, but then you still need people to work them, you know. And we said then we'll do something else. So here we're raising our calves. And we don't bottle feed any. We have nursing cows. So we have cows with crazy udders or whatever, and we keep them in the front field, and then we put calves on that. What?
You said they have crazy udders. What's crazy about them?
Well, because the way we milk them.
On the machine?
Yeah, the machine, when you have the machine on there, it won't hang, so it falls down or sucks air. If it sucks air, then it causes bacteria to go in there. So you don't want that to happen. So that's how we raise the calves. So yeah, a lot of money for milk goes into that. And they like.
You said you're replacing this system with robots?
Yes, the robots, that's where they're working on it.
Okay.
That is going to be 2 milking robots.
So then all your milking operations will move
Yes.
to there. Will the tanks we just saw in there have to move, or that just
We got other ones.
Okay.
So but that way we want to keep this going. We don't know what the future brings. So the platform is still okay, and the piping and everything. So we don't never know if Johnny wants to milk more cow, if he wants to milk just grass-fed cows or just grazing cows. Whatever the opportunity is there when instead of deleting it all. It's still there. We don't get no money for it to delete it and just tear it down, you know. So better keeping it. So she just had a calf, and we're selling her calf. So yeah, she's not happy with us.
The one that's speaking.
This one over here by the gate, because it.
You have a bull?
Yeah. And the guy's coming around 6 o'clock tonight. Let's see. Fill up the tank with clean water, and the manure water goes all this system. It separates the solids from the water, and then the water goes back to the irrigation, and that's how we irrigate the fields.
Wow.
So we have 7 irrigations. You see the other across the road is ours too, and then this one and that one and there one and there one and there one and there one.
How many acres?
We I don't know, 400, 420.
And so most of this acreage is growing organic hay to
Yes.
feed the...
So when we were big, we didn't want to sell the land because, you know, when you sell it, that's
Right.
it, you know. So we hung on to it. So our second crop is really the organic hay. That's the second crop we have, an income. Yeah.
So you sell the organic hay to anyone who...
Really, it's hardly ever organic people. Once in a while it's really organic. We just sell it for $85 a roll, and either they use it for their horses, or like now there's a guy coming, he sells a lot of grass-fed beef, and he likes it just because they're neighbors and just supporters, you know, what we're doing, and not buying. He don't like chemicals and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so he tries to be natural grass-fed.
Yeah, that's good to know. Not many people do that. So
No.
I actually have had that question multiple times.